What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. This week we've got Lackey Grand Prix number 9, round 4, last round of Swiss, and Top Cut is already underway. So this is a little bit behind. I believe Kevin the Dude was against him, and Kevin the Dude was against Gilbaugh. He took the win on that one, and then Red Wing was against him, and Red Wing won that. So the final game, which to my knowledge has not been played yet, at least as of the recording of this. Maybe by the time you're watching they have played, but I haven't seen the score. But it's Red Wing and Kevin the Dude at the top. Should be an interesting game between those two for sure. So what do we got going on for this game? Clearly neither Jake, who is going to be my opponent for this game, or myself did not end up in Top Cut. Not sure if that... So I guess like that saying Top Cut or what Top Cut ended up being doesn't really spoil any results for this game. Maybe it kind of does. Maybe you can also see the video is quite long, so it was a pretty grindy game. We did end up going to time, so have to bear with it for this video. I mean, it just means there's more content, more stuff to watch. It's always exciting, right? As you may have heard on the Threshing Floor podcast, there was a little bit of a teaser for this week's video. I was playing, or I did play. Will be playing. I don't know. For you, it's future. For me, it's already happened. I'm playing a Daniel deck, which is maybe it's not one that I've played in a while, and definitely not this version of it. Daniel decks have somewhat suffered from like speed problems, I guess, having enough drawing and that kind of stuff. Got a few like search stuff, and of course there's the Foretelling Angel, which was kind of the OG Daniel speed method, but then you had to go with like Daniel cards on defense, and you had to kind of get the Daniel Lost Souls once those came out. And now there have been kind of a few different ways to make the deck a little bit faster. With the Meek Lost Souls, there was High Places and Harvest Time. In the first, some people use that to, along with the Daniel Lost Souls. That definitely had some success, some merit to it. More recently, I think people have been trying, or at least in the game with Emmanuel, which I believe was round 1 or 2 of this series. We saw him use a Daniel offense, except with David and Song of Moses, David's harp. So the idea was just kind of get David's harp right away on turn 1. If you get those two, then you get Song of Moses. You can go out with David and play it and get out the whole big Daniel band. The downside is that you also help your opponent. Your opponent also gets to search unless they happen to be using, or unless you happen to also get blindness active on that first turn, which can be a bit of a tall order, but especially with one territory class enhancement. But if it just so happens to do it, then you're going to be in pretty good shape. It does kind of give up that first turn rescue, but it's sort of what we've been seeing with some decks these days, where it's like a Matthew attack to get a bunch of drawing, which you're not necessarily, it's not necessarily a strong attack. We've been seeing some of those kind of setup attacks on turn 1, especially since you can't set up as much with only one territory class enhancement. So that's been another route that people have been talking about. I know Jared was talking about it, and now I kind of had the idea, I think around when I was playing Emmanuel. Like, I was actually thinking about building this deck to play for that round that I played against him, but I was like, well, I'm playing against Emmanuel, so I'll let him do the Daniel deck for this one. I think I even mentioned that during the video, that I was like, yeah, I was thinking about playing a Daniel deck. So this was the Daniel deck that I was thinking about playing, and it uses the speed engine of the Heavenly Host with Heavenly Host tokens, or making a bunch of those with Chamber by bringing Heavenly Host in and out. I'm sure you've seen that if you've been watching videos on the channel lately, and then using Star of Bethlehem to do a bunch of drawing. So the idea is to get to some of these pieces early on, and hopefully that can kind of accelerate you into the rest of the deck. As was also mentioned on the podcast, on the Threshing Floor, I wasn't like super confident with where the deck was at when I was going into this game. It's currently, or this version right here is 53 cards. A little bit awkward of a number. Like you either kind of want to trim it down to 50 or 51, or just go up to 57. Maybe 57 would be better for this style of deck, but I was kind of like, the idea was to get everything out faster, and there are certainly a few cards that I could probably trim, especially now that I've played a game with it and kind of see how it runs and operates, kind of get a gauge of the consistency, which I do think was a little bit lacking, especially because the only way I have in here to get Chamber is the Resurrection, which might seem like a weird inclusion. You're probably right. It was sort of a last minute swap in, I guess. Like, it was shortly before the game. I think I had Vain Philosophy in here before, which I'll kind of get to when explaining the defense. But I think maybe an Evil Battle Winning Dominant could go in this slot, or maybe that's what I'd add if I went up to 57. But kind of last minute, I added the Resurrection, Bethlehem Stable, and Resurrection Revealer, which I don't think is a bad inclusion. I think it kind of does help with the consistency a little bit, especially because I think people are main decking Shipwreck a little bit more these days because of the threat of Chamber, and also Herod's Temple. It messes with a lot of stuff, and Sheol is, I think, seeing a little bit more play than it had been kind of over the last year or so. So I think that having Resurrection to be able to get Chamber of Angels back from the discard pile is relatively important, especially because Chamber also helps out a lot with the rest of our offense, keeping Michael alive, and as well as Servants by the River. Those are kind of the main two that you want to keep around. And then Bethlehem Stable, I just figured it would be good if I already have Chamber. I'm not really worried about Shipwreck. Then Resurrection still has another target that I could go for. And of course, Resurrection Revealer fills that space as well, being a hero that Resurrection can bring out to get a little bit more value. Plus, a lot of people are playing anti-human heroes. So a lot of times, I think you would be able to get some value from Resurrection during battle. Especially if you get Gabriel out with like Bethlehem Stable, or you just attack with Resurrection Revealer to search for the Resurrection, then play it and abandon their offense before they block, something like that. There's definitely some good ways to borrow your opponent's cards with these, or with the Resurrection here. Get some value there. But anyways, the main attack for Daniel, what we're kind of trying to get to with setting up, is starting out with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in some order. I mean, typically you want Shadrach first, but I was kind of like, I was trying to figure out how to fit everything in the way I wanted it to, and Shadrach ended up in reserve as he was kind of the least effective early, I guess. I mean, like, I guess Abednego is kind of the least effective early, but Abednego gets Shadrach out of reserve. So you can go Abednego to underdeck the top card of deck, top deck Shadrach, ban to Meshach to draw one, and then you ban to Shadrach. And then Shadrach bans to Daniel, Daniel bans to like Michael, and then you can bring in Captain of the Host, Servants by the River. And really you want to have as much of that CBN as possible. So Abednego, if you're not going for the Shadrach play, then you just have Foretelling Angel out. You start out with Abednego and top deck one of the Daniel cards in reserve, so either cast into Lion's Den, Daniel's Guardian, or you could just leave Shadrach on top. You don't necessarily have to draw him to ban him in, but you can get a Daniel card on top so that Foretelling Angel is live and making your stuff CBN. You really want the key character to make CBN is Servants by the River, but it's also helpful to have your Daniel humans CBN, because if you don't have Shadrach, then they could just negate their banned abilities, and then Servants by the River isn't really doing much. It's not protecting a whole lot. So that's kind of the whole attack there. A lot of people are playing New Testament defenses, so Daniel's pretty strong, negating evil characters and NT enhancements, and then Michael tossing the multi-brigade stuff. And then in order to make sure that Servants by the River is the most effective, I've got Great White Throne in here to, for one, help to get out the heroes a little bit faster, which, yeah, I think this is just a natural include for Daniel decks these days, or at least it should be. And then at any time you can discard an evil card in territory to force opponent to withdraw all but one evil character. So Servants by the River only protects from lone evil characters, so Great White Throne can be used to withdraw. Same thing can be used for like Legion of Angels. You could even like trigger the search on Legion of Angels and then use Great White Throne to make them withdraw, and then you're protected. So that seems, I think it's somewhat of an underrated card, especially with one territory class enhancement. If you're limited to that, then this can be kind of another consistency piece, getting out the right hero. New Covenant is kind of another consistency piece, because most of the good enhancements here are going to be used to get the get to the heroes we want, or get to the Heavenly Host Chamber combo. So Angelic Guidance, go get Heavenly Host. Angel Appears can go get Heavenly Host, and these things are kind of, also like Angel Appears and Daniel's Prayer, and Faith. They're also to go get the heroes from reserve. Just alternate ways to go and get them. And Coming Prince can recycle not a whole lot in the deck, but really you're just going to be wanting to use it on Star Bethlehem anyway. And Faith is a little bit risky. It's good to get Daniel out early, but maybe it could come out for Reverence and Awe to give another way to get to Chamber. That would be something I would consider. Having them both is definitely risky because of all the Matthews floating around doing things, but that is something. This is kind of a early version, I guess. This is a deck that I kind of want to play around with a little bit more, so you might see it in a video in a couple of weeks, or a few weeks, sometime down the line here. I don't like to do like the same deck back to back unless that's just how the cookie crumbles, but I'll have something different for you next week, I'm fairly sure, since I'll actually be out of town next week, so I'm going to be doing the editing for that video probably tomorrow night. So anyways, another card, like support card, that I think is good for the Daniel offense is the Cross. Once you're negating their evil characters, New Testament enhancements, and you're tossing multi-brigade evil enhancements, and you're protected from lone evil characters, and there's not really a whole lot they can do with their characters, like their characters and enhancements on defense, but there is a lot of damage they can do with dominance, and so the Cross is just kind of a way to stop that from happening. Particularly Grapes is a strong one against the Daniel band. Most of the heroes you can get back. That might be a reason that I wouldn't want to cut Faith, is that it gets Daniel back from the discard pile. But most of the other heroes are kind of safe-ish from those kind of, or from dominance. Like they can get back, or especially with Chamber, all the angels can be retrieved. Daniel's Prayer can go to the discard pile for Daniel Angels. So there are some, I guess Daniel's Guardian is another way to get Daniel back from the discard. Yeah, you probably want to have more than one way. I don't know. Daniel's pretty important in this offense. But anyways, the Cross, it's good. And that's why we're not really playing any battle dominance in here. Really trying to get the Cross going early. But that's, I guess, Resurrection is kind of a battle dominant. But in this deck, it's really more of just a support dominant. Okay, so that's the offense. Defense, I guess maybe this is something to note as part of the offense, since I was talking about Great White Throne. You have to discard an evil card in territory. It can be your opponent's evil card if you have taken it, which is why we're running Remnant, which also works well to, another hero access from reserve element. And then also with Sheol and Gates of Hell, you can do the thing where you kind of just, if your opponent is searching a lot, you can use Remnant, take their evil character, discard it with Great White Throne, which this is at any time, so it doesn't even have to be during battle. You can discard it, and then if they search, you use Sheol to underdeck Remnant, and then you can use Gates of Hell to just pop it back out again, and take another evil card, discard it with Great White Throne. You can do that just as many times as they search. It's kind of a roundabout way to do things, and it takes having all of those pieces at the same time, but you can kind of achieve bits and pieces of it at different times. Like maybe you just underdeck Remnant and you shuffle your deck and draw it again naturally. You can do it that way. But anyways, the defense in this deck, not your opponent's defense, but this defense is just mono orange. Going to be getting some value from the Fallen Star and then also from Sheol, punishing those searches. Potentially also blindness to punish searching, but typically we're going to be using that on defense. Really, like blindness is going to be used a lot on defense, and War in Heaven is going to be used a lot on defense. War in Heaven, it's decent on offense as well, but Daniel negates it, so you got to watch out for that if you've got Daniel in the band. If you're just going with Angels, then War in Heaven is good. Definitely worth it. Expelled from Heaven is a card that I think some people are using in Daniel decks, but it probably should be. I mean, just the negate and banish part, except for humans, but you can do that on enhancements or on demons, and it's CBP, so it gets around Daniel. And if you happen to be going in with Gabriel or Resurrection Revealer or Heavenly Host, or I guess Angel of the Winds, you can get that draw too as well. I think the part that really makes the offense a little bit less punchy, or like what would really work well is if you had something to tie it together, like getting Gabriel and Michael into battle, but there aren't any like cross-banding angels, at least not in rotation. So unfortunately, there's Cherubim. Cherubim is Old Testament, can ban to Gabriel, but there's not many ways to ban to Cherubim. Maybe there's a way you could do someone that bans to Ezekiel, and then anyways, someone else can figure that out. Put it in the comments if you get it. I want Michael and Gabriel in the same battle without like New Covenant or something silly like that. Anyways, back to the defense. So pretty much it's just big bad boys and negates, and then also Damsel for the drawing. Get a little bit of speed on the defense because, in case the offense doesn't get set up right away, Damsel is going to be a good go-to first turn block. And so otherwise, we've got Terrifying Beast, who doesn't ban to anybody in this deck, but a lot of people are playing Romans, so maybe you can ban to some Herods. It's also a Daniel card, and it's also just a decent ability on its own. So I figured it was worth including. Pretty much that's pretty much the case, or the story with like all of these big dudes, is they're all just good on their own. Deceiver can go to reserve for mediums. After first turn, you want to go to Damsel if you can. That's why we've got stuff like Galileans, Darkness, and Lawless in here. Help get to some drawing defense right away, like Messenger or Damsel. And then the rest of it is just big bad boys and a bunch of gates. This offense works fairly well with House Divided, so that was part of the impetus for this being the defense that I decided to pair with this offense. So House Divided works pretty well. It only hits Daniel and then also Gabriel, and that's why we kind of want to have some ways to get Daniel back from the discard pile, like Daniel's Guardian and Faith. Just watch out, it also hits your Golgotha in case you have the cross active there. That would be unfortunate. It also negates blindness and War in Heaven, so if you play House Divided first and then they play something that negates it, you won't, I guess at that point you would be able to negate it with like blindness or War in Heaven because it would be negated, and then wouldn't be preventing other, okay, you know what I mean. Just be aware of that. It also negates Wages and Swine Stampede and Deafening Spirit, so it's can backfire, but typically it'll be alright. If you place it in Blasphemy after House Divided, usually if you're playing House Divided, it's to win the battle because there are a lot of dual icon and multi-brigade stuff. But if you're not, you can sit in Blasphemy, interrupt the ongoing prevent on House Divided, and then use Swine Stampede or something from reserve. Okay, that was a lot. Wages has a lot of targets, mostly in the reserve, but turn 1, if you get it, you're probably going to want to go to Sheol, but you've also got targets in Terrifying Beast, Beelzebub, and Blasphemies, and also House Divided. You can go to that as well. Even War in Heaven, I suppose, if you want a little offensive power when you're attacking, so keep that in mind. And also Shipwreck to deal with opposing chambers. opposing chambers aren't the biggest deal in the world. I mean, it negate wages and negate Fallen Star. You kind of would like to have Fallen Star active, and it also stops them from doing Heavenly Host Star Bethlehem shenanigans. So maybe that could be a battle dominant, assuming that Cross isn't going to be active the whole time. It could go back to Vain Philosophy, which originally was in the deck in part because you, like, if you're playing House Divided, you really want to make sure that it goes through, and Vain Philosophy can help secure that. So that was kind of the reasoning for that, and maybe that's a better option than Shipwreck. I was just trying to decide something to cut for the Resurrection, and Vain Philosophy was kind of the main one. I think Shipwreck on like Golgotha is pretty popular right now too, so Daniel, it makes his negate a little bit more potent if they don't have the first enhancement being CBP. So that's another thing to consider with Shipwreck, but Daniel also negates fortresses, so you're not quite as worried about those. It's a little bit of a toss-up. He doesn't negate fortresses and set aside, so there's the shields and the gates of hells and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that is the deck. Yep, I think I covered pretty much everything. There's also Dragon's Wrath, which also seems to work fairly well with this offense. Hits the humans here, but as long as you get Daniel back, he's kind of really the only one that matters. Sorry, other guys, but most of the enhancements here are silver, so really we're going to be focusing on the angels, which is kind of just the way that I geared the deck. Do have Lost Child Found just as a utility bouncer if needed for anything. This could maybe be a slot for something else, but I just figured it'd be a reasonable inclusion to have in reserve and get it out with New Covenant or Bethlehem Stable, since it's a Nativity card. So that is the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy the game against Jake, and I suppose before we get into that though, we'll hear a quick word from from me about our sponsors at Your Turn Games. And if you go there, you can get all sorts of redemption supplies, including just singles, boxes, packs, these battle boxes and grab bags, which are kind of pre-selected, just like value groups of cards. Like if you're just getting started and you don't have very many cards, those are great options just to start building a collection. Especially if you want a card or like cards from a variety of sets. If you're brand new, we've got these new K&L starter deck. Israel's Deliverance is the name of the starter deck set, but the starter decks are just they're lettered, but with K and L to distinguish between the two decks. And the pre-orders are live, so you can go ahead and check those out on Your Turn Games. Otherwise, there are pre-built decks at different levels of just competitiveness and like advancedness and also price, so you can check those out there, as well as any card supplies that you would need, some t-shirts, gift cards, these coloring battle cards. I've never actually checked these out, as it's been a while since I've done any coloring, but figured that'd be a good highlight for this week's video, just in case you need a little bit of a break in the middle of the game against Jake, because like I said, it's a long video, or if you just need something to do while you're watching it, maybe you can order some coloring battle cards, and we'll see if Andy can get them to you before the video's over. Otherwise, we've just got some redemption resources. All this is free information about tournaments coming up and other content like this, and also just information about Your Turn Games and what redemption is. So head on over to yourturngames.biz today or tomorrow, or someday, whenever you want some redemption supplies and cards and all those goodies. So check them out. All right, let's do it.
Where's my roll button? Roll/roll. There you go. Wow.
Roll tie.
Okay.
There you go.
Let's see this hand. I'll go second with this.
All right. I have no stars. I would like to activate.
No stars.
Alright, do prosperity. That's kind of a tough choice. Guess
That's good.
maybe. It's gonna feel really bad if I discard that card and draw into a different card. Yeah, alright. I will discard Abaddon.
Wow. Abaddon. That's interesting.
Yeah, that it is. Oh boy. Found myself a lovely little remnant there.
Remnant. There you go.
And a humble. Alright. I guess I will get us going then. Let's start off with a wonderful heavenly host.
There you go.
Make myself a token.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put down a Bethlehem stable.
Wow.
Put down an artifact. Put down a Sheol. And I suppose a red dragon to get some unity.
There you go.
And yeah, why not? Let's do a battle challenge. With Danny Boy, and I will look at your hand.
This is all over the place. Go ahead.
See what we got going on here.
We have a few of the same cards in hand already.
What's that?
We have a few of the same cards.
Yeah, that we do. Interesting that you chose to go second with this.
Yeah.
I could see it going either way, but I suppose Outsiders is a good first turn block.
Yeah.
Not that I guess you need to block here, but you know, you can.
I was thinking about it. It's just 3.
Come on, you can draw into some souls.
Yeah. I think I'll pass on the Outsiders block.
All right. Well, with that, I guess I will pass the turn.
Sounds good. Okay. Star abilities, none. Put this face down. Do you have
a
a
lost
token?
soul, is it?
No. Do you have a token maker capability? Like I don't have it. Oh,
there you go.
Cool. Let's see here.
I think everyone I make for you, I should get one for myself as well, though.
I think so. That's how it goes. We'll go for Sheol.
Wow.
Philip.
What a nice card.
It is. Put down Zechariah the Silent. This is up to 2. Cards in hand is 3. Okay.
Trying to make the hand advantage part hard for you.
Exactly.
Well, if I'm counting correctly, you could do it. So.
Yeah. I'll move to combat with Zechariah. Just preventing your next enhancement.
All right. Sure. What you got?
Okay. I'm gonna play Angel of the Lord.
I suppose that's pretty good.
Cool.
I'll give you prosperity.
Sounds good.
Guess I should have kept my Abaddon.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go put. I shouldn't put him down. If you have any, you shouldn't have that many nativity cards. We'll go with another token. Done. Here we go. Let's pass the turn.
Alright. Let's do the Star Oncoming Prince, and I will look at the top card of your deck.
Okay.
So there's top one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and send that one to the bottom.
Okay.
And I guess upkeep will do Bethlehem Stable. Let's take Gabriel.
Okay.
And let's got 4 cards in hand now. Nice if you had a lost soul for me to go after here.
Yeah, that would be. If I had a lost soul, it would have been shuffled on there. I guess you wouldn't have had to gotten it. But.
Yeah, I suppose I will rescue with Gabriel. Or, well, okay. Battle challenge with Gabriel.
Battle challenge. Yep.
And I will... just reserve something from your deck? No, I think I'll, search my deck for a silver gospel card.
Sounds good.
And that will be... yeah, just do angelic guidance.
Okay. I will decline to block.
And also, I will make another token. Okay. Guess I'd probably play that now. Yeah. Let's do angelic guidance. Take a peek at your hand.
You got it.
Which I guess I know all those cards anyway.
I think there's one new, right? Or no? Oh, you know.
Nah. I think your artifact, Zechariah, and Angel of the Lord were the 3 new cards.
Okay.
But I will go take a silver card from deck. Guess that one is tempting. But it's probably... yeah, I feel like the density is high enough at this point. We'll take Foretelling Angel.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and put Foretelling Angel down. I will have my top cards sitting on Foretelling Angel there.
That makes sense.
Which hopefully won't get too confusing.
Exactly. That card is not easy to play with. Wait.
Yeah.
I think there's an easier way, like, if I go to your deck and reveal... No, that wouldn't...
Yeah, it would just get kind of messy with the pop-up window.
I'll
just remember that if I have to shuffle or draw, I'll draw.
Do anything with my deck, I need to move things around. Okay.
All right, I'll save the game here, and if we have to go back to this point, you know.
Exactly.
And with that, I will pass the turn.
Cool. Draw 3. Stressed. Let's see, stars.
Yay, muscle.
Exactly. Your card is House Divided. We'll use the star ability of... Oh, no, never mind. We're not going to use the star ability. Let's see here. Um, cool. So no stars. Distressed activates.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Foretelling Angel. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. I'm going to. You're not negating anything in my territory, correct? Just
Correct.
punishing searches. Yeah. Gonna play Delivered. Go to my deck for an artifact. Play it on Herod.
Sure.
Grab the manger.
Mm-hmm.
And the manger will negate shield.
Mm-hmm.
Select. Um, going to play Resurrection Revealer to my territory. Your cards in hand is 6. We'll make a rescue attempt with Joseph the Betrothed. I'll go to my deck for a good nativity card. Let me see here before you block. I will activate Star of Bethlehem.
Sure.
Stars I'll be using are the star itself and an angel appears. And I'll do the angel appears afterwards. So I'll just draw 6 and put an artifact on top.
Okay.
Okay. Lost Soul. Lost Soul. And yeah, we'll give you a meek on that. I think
Yeah.
it's.
I
That's
suppose
good.
it's optional, but yeah.
And I will grab an artifact in Peter's Curse on top of my deck.
Mm-hmm. So you did end up adding it.
Yeah. And you are free to block.
Cool. I will block with Terrifying Beast. We'll attempt to discard Joseph.
Okay. He's CBN. I got a underdeck card of Matching Brigade or from hand or territory. Or from. Let's see here. I will underdeck Simeon the Devout.
Alright.
It's not protected, right? Yeah, my hand's protected. Yeah.
Do I want to ban? Fixes the number of Herods in play. You should have put down your outsiders.
Exactly.
Don't think I need to draw one. So, yep, that is my block.
Okay, 11, 12, 11, 9. I get to draw a card from.
Yep.
Let's see here. An angel appears. Go to my deck. Gospel angel. Oh, wait, my hand size is actually higher, so I can't. It's got to go to reserve.
Oh,
Sorry
right,
about
yeah.
that. Needs to be on the bottom. Should I shuffle? Should I reveal bottom and then shuffle? Or
That's fine.
okay, just leave it like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just say I missed going to reserve on that. Then. My hero may ban to an angel. We'll ban to Gabriel. There we go. It doesn't matter anymore, anyways. Let's see here. There's nothing to negate. I guess I can negate my own Herod Philip. And I'm grabbing a silver card. Grabbing. Okay. It should be your initiative.
Yeah, I suppose that might be the best here. I will play Sin and Blasphemy. And we'll play Swine Stampede from reserve.
Okay.
You're not running Harvest Time, are you?
No. Just make sure I can't do anything else.
Oops.
What was
Shuffle
Sin
has
Blasphemy?
to
Each of us draw from one from the bottom of the deck. Okay.
Yes, you may do that. I'm going to choose not to.
Okay. Just making sure.
Fallen Stars on top with Foretelling Angel.
Okay. Is he from Daniel? No.
Unfortunately not. Pretty close though.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm good on it. So you did Sin and Blasphemy. That's player hands from reserve, so that's a search. So the triggers I have. Okay, so resolving Sin and Blasphemy means I draw and then I underdeck a card. Would that be correct? That'd be correct, right?
Correct. Yep.
So draw from the bottom. I guess I shouldn't have shown that to you. And then I will underdeck a soul.
Yep.
And I don't have any ways to extend the battle.
Yeah, I suppose that would have been awkward if you got to underdeck and then draw.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Discard phase. We'll put down Herod's Temple. I have this face down artifact. Let's see here. This face down artifact. And I will pass the turn to you.
Okay. We'll draw the Fallen Star and 2 other cards. Deal my top card, which is Remnant again.
And there's a question. Like with Foretelling Angel, would I see all of your cards drawn, or just the when it stops? Like
just while no other.
Okay.
Like while nothing else is going on, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess.
So I only see like the first one of you draw each turn, but not the other 2 underneath.
Right. Yep.
Face down artifacts count to board advantage, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious if star abilities would go before it's revealed. Yeah, because I think if I drew Lost Souls, that would reveal before activating those abilities. I'm pretty sure that's how I've seen it played. But
okay, yeah, that's fine. We can go with that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide if I want to use a star that's going to let me shuffle the card off the top, but I suppose it would be a search, which I don't really want to do because of your Sheol. Alright, I guess I'll pass on that. I will go to upkeep. I don't think I'm going to use that. You're not going to use Bethlehem Stable. Yeah. I will think. Yeah, we'll play an Evil Woes on Distressed.
Okay.
Actually, do I want to make it evil? Yeah, I should make it good.
Okay.
Good Woes. I'll put down my Resurrection Revealer. Put down the Fallen Star. Yeah. Let's, I liked your play, so I think I'm gonna maybe do that as well.
Nice.
Go to my battle here.
Okay.
Attack with Gabriel. We'll negate Herod Philip, I guess, and ban to Joseph. And we'll go take a good or neutral nativity card from deck here. Let's do that one.
Okay.
And Yeah, that's my attack.
Okay.
And I guess my shield is now not negated because I'm negating the major.
Whoa, oh, wait. Which is the game major again? Sorry.
My resurrection revealer.
Oh, okay, Resurrection Revealer. Okay, yes. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Oh, wait. Remnant should have been shuffled off the top.
Yeah.
Okay. Top card is now captain.
Cool. Speak of the devil. Let's see here.
Kind of wish it was Remnant, because then I could have played Star to draw it and then take your Herod Philip. Oh, I guess you got Herod's Temple, so I wouldn't be able to take him. Alright, it's fine.
Yeah.
Then I guess you have Resurrection Revealer, so that would work.
Yeah. We'll block with Herod Philip, CBN because of 3 Brazen Battle. I will draw 1. Ban Evil, Detestable Human. Let's see here. You're punishing searches twice. The shield's not going to do anything right now. So, that guy. And I'm pretty sure I have board advantage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have board advantage. Let's see here. We'll go with Outsiders. Is it 3 or 4? 4. 4.
Silver, green, white, 3.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Draw 3. And I'm tiny compared to you still, so 11, 10 versus your just Joseph is killing me.
I think I will play Dominant, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and use Star. I will reveal. I want Captain. I'll reveal the Coming Prince from my hand. And I think I'll just be activating those 2. I'll just underdeck my Captain.
Okay.
And then I will draw 4. Right, yeah, 4.
Yeah, you have Gabriel, 2 tokens, and yeah, so 4.
And then Servants by the River is my top card with Foretelling Angel, which, hey, look, it's a Daniel card. I'll go ahead and pick that up, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's a Lussel. EU.
Okay. Okay.
What you got?
You're gonna keep going dominant. You're done. Dominant?
Nope, it's all you.
Cool. Let's see here. Let's go to. Actually, I'm gonna go first. We'll do. Ask for dominant initiative.
Sure.
Okay. Let's play a good woes on your fallen star.
All right.
I'm gonna play duplicity and go to reserve and play feudal inquisition.
Yep, that'll work. I think for future reference, I don't think. Maybe you still would have.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have happened because the trigger would have been left in battle phase.
That's what I'm thinking. Although I know, or it might be different for optional and mandatory triggers. I'm not positive on that.
I'm pretty sure it would be left side because I had a trigger. Yeah, I think it would. I was just thinking about it in between, but it wouldn't happen in between duplicity and the other thing. So
yeah.
Right.
All right, I'll put down Prince, and I will pass the turn.
Okay, Prince of the World. Draw 3. Resurrection Revealer is active. Lawless thing. Hopper does nothing.
Yay.
Yeah. Star abilities. None. Let's see here. I'm going to place my own Bethlehem Stable
Mm-hmm.
to. It will leave woes on the same target. Yeah, there. I didn't miss anything else. I'll keep. Let's see here. We'll do Annunciation on Gabriel. Go to my deck for a good dominant resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play. I'll play the resurrection. No hero, grabbing chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I do hate how clogged the board gets for this deck. Let's see here. I'm going to chamber. Heavenly Host is not doing anything anyways. Going to. If I move things into set aside, they're no longer part of the board for board advantage, right? Or set aside include board. This board advantage includes set.
Well, so like for outsiders, it's play advantage, so that would not include
Oh,
set
it's play
aside.
advantage. Oh.
Board advantage might still include set aside.
Okay, I don't. What if the cards use board advantage?
I think like King of Nineveh, maybe.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, one has board advantage. Let's discard X cards from territory.
Okay, now that I got that going, woes is good. Shields out. We got a ton of annoying stuff going on. Let's go for. I'll make a battle challenge with Joseph. Joseph will go to my reserve for Mary, and ban to Mary. Mary is going to negate and reserve your fallen star and grab me a star card. The star card I'm going to grab is. The Coming Prince. And it is your block if you want.
Kind of tempting, actually. Got the resurrection. Yeah, maybe not. I guess I will not block.
Okay. I already used resurrection, just FYI.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Let's see here.
Forgot that people play that outside of battle sometimes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Guess I should have blocked.
I'm going to put down some cards in territory. Go for Simeon. Probably not going to do much this game. These mirror matches are always weird. I wonder if I do too much stuff here. Magnify multitudes, territory. And
I think really it's just Gabriel that's weird. Kind of makes playing a gospel offense trickier.
Yeah. I'm going to put down. Just to be a surprise. Why? Why would you surprise you? Okay. I'm going to put down here. And it is your go.
Alright. I will draw darkness.
My old friend.
3 more cards, including a lawless.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those are negated, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alright, no stars. Upkeep. Woes will... I don't think too much will matter here, but I suppose... suppose we'll move it to the manger just in case.
Okay.
And I want to use stable. How many shield triggers am I willing to give you this turn? Oops, I'm gonna reveal my top for foretelling. Yeah, I'll use stable. I'll take Lost Child Found.
Okay. I'm gonna underdeck Copper.
Alright. Yeah, okay. I will... let's take Abednego.
Mm-hmm.
And... interesting one. Let's activate Great White Throne.
Mm-hmm.
I will banish my...
Oh, wait, it's negated by...
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay, well, I guess that makes things a little bit easier to decide then. Yeah, okay. I will play Lost Child Found. And I will bounce my Daniel Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I've got 4 of them. Oh. In that case, I'm going to leave Foretelling Angel down. We're going to bounce Prince of this World instead.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, that was kind of not as exciting as I was hoping it was going to be. We'll just put these guys back down. I was hoping to...
I really like Lost Child Found. The card's very versatile.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree. Alright, so instead of that, what should I do? I will put down Damsel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we'll just go with Gabriel. I'll negate my Damsel, and I will ban to... we'll ban to the Multitude.
Okay.
And I will draw 2.
Sounds good.
And then I will play the Resurrection.
Okay.
Go to my own chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will bring in. Suppose I could have gone without the draw 2 on magnifying and just done the benefits from your other guys, but it's alright.
Exactly.
So prevent your next enhancement. We'll go to my reserve, I guess, for a nativity card and fail to find. And no NT profits to ban to. I guess he's a prophet. Sure, I'll ban to your resurrection revealer.
Okay.
And also ban to your Mary. Bring everyone in.
Okay.
Now we'll take a good gospel dominant from my deck. Will be suppose crowd's choice.
The resurrection itself?
What's that?
What was banning to Mary? Was it the resurrection itself?
Joseph banning to Mary.
Oh, Joseph banning to Mary, okay.
Alright.
So I got with that one?
Oh. What's that?
Oh, crowd's choice. Sorry. You got crowd's choice with that, okay.
Yep. And then my top card of foretelling is Humble.
Sounds good. Okay, so there's a bunch of people in the battle. Okay,
It's pretty much your entire offense, except with my fancy
Exactly.
Gabriel.
Exactly. Okay, so how many shield triggers do I have in all of that? You search for a dominant. You searched your reserve and didn't find anything, right? So that was 2.
Yep.
So just 2. There's no more.
I think. And then Resurrection.
Resurrection itself. So 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will underdeck all 3 of these.
Alright, fine. I'll play it. Discard shield.
Okay. Here you go. I'll send this to the bottom of my discard pile. Let's see here. They got a whole bunch of stuff. So for has more cards in play. Do I count my heroes that are on your side as mine, or because that's your thing, right? So I don't control them, so they're not mine. They're no one's, right? The ones that are owned by me, you're controlled by you, are not for any. They don't count for anybody.
That's correct.
So I have 4, 6, 8, 11 cards in play.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that sounds right. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So.
Okay. So I have the initiative with that guy. Okay, let's go for. You have punishment and shield, and because you have divining damsel back in play. But if I can get rid of her, you have unity. So let's see here. I'm gonna block with Herod Philip, CVN, because of 4 brigades.
Mm-hmm.
So draw 2. And then ban to a New Testament Gold human. Human I'll be banding to is Outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do have a chamber. That's important to note. You have how many brigades of silver, white, green, teal?
Just the 3.
You don't have teal. Yeah, just silver, white, green. You don't have teal.
Yep.
Let's underdeck the following cards. I'll underdeck your woes, your stable, and your. Oh, that's not smart of me. And your Divining Damsel.
Yep.
That wasn't incredibly smart of me. Okay. I'm going to play. You're preventing my next enhancement.
Correct.
That's it, though, in battle, right? Just preventing. Oh, what is your magnifying? It's preventing things.
Yeah. If you got any enhancements with toughness 9 or greater.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to play Herod's Banquet. Can ban to any number of New Testament gold humans. I'm going to ban to. I'm just pulling ones I'm going to ban to. I don't know which order I'm going to do their abilities in right now.
Yep.
Here. And choose the rescue is a final stage ability, right?
Correct. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it would be choosing or bringing in an opponent's character. Yeah. So bringing in your character would go first.
Okay. It's probably a mistake, but I want to try. Let's see here. I don't know why I'm trying. Oh yeah, the soldier's still here. Shipwreck. I forgot about that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to prevent the next good card played in battle. Exchange. The exchange gets delayed. I'm not going to take a Dance of Death from reserve. I will reserve a good card in territory. I will reserve your Foretelling Angel.
Okay. I'll put it in chamber.
And I will exchange her, but that gets delayed too. I cannot discard a random card from your reserve. You still have that effect. I did not negate it.
Right.
I play a Herod's Temple or Herod from a deck. You do have Shield. You don't have Unity. So I'll go to my deck for a I'm gonna grab. Oh, that's an. Yeah, I guess now we're doing the add to battle effects. Oh no, that just plays it from. It doesn't put it into battle. Okay.
Yeah.
Grab. Play him to my territory. Now we're going to the add to battle effects. So I'm going to exchange this guy with Herod Agrippa. He will negate Resurrection Revealer that's in combat.
Yep.
She's going to exchange with
back.
Herod and Territory Reserve. Actually, so she'll fail on that. And then we'll choose the attacker. Nothing's protected, right, currently?
Correct.
Yeah.
So choose my Resurrection Revealer in territory.
I don't think I want to do that. If I choose your angel to attack and you chamber it, you lose your attack completely, right?
The exchange would be instead completely, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought that would. Oh man, I'd always assumed it was the other way. Well, that ruins things.
And we can double check on that if you want to, but
yeah, if you don't mind, I'm gonna pause.
All right. So in summary,
yes,
choosing an angel in territory. If the angel goes to chamber, then it would instead the entire thing. But if you choose a human in territory, Chamber and Gabriel would not or would not nullify the choose the rescuer because it would still kick out the rest of the heroes.
Cool.
Basically, need to be able to bring a hero into an empty battlefield.
This is gonna get super messy now. I didn't want to do this. Like, I would have planned a little bit differently if I had known, but whatever. We're gonna pick. It's so ugly now. We'll pick think it has to be, because otherwise you can just do this anyways. We'll pick Daniel. Let's go guess. So.
All right. So
Yeah.
Gabriel goes back.
Yeah.
Your dudes go. Daniel comes in. He's prevented by Herod's guard, but he's CBN.
Oh, okay. Yeah, CBN, yeah, CBN,
yeah. So.
Okay, so.
Gating fortresses, evil characters, and New Testament enhancements. So my. Let's see, has my deck been shuffled since you underdecked stuff with outsiders? I guess the easy way to tell is by revealing the bottom, which, yes.
Okay.
That is. Wait, with what?
Yeah, how did I shuffle your deck? It's gonna get so ugly.
Yeah, my deck should not have been
shuffled. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
What could have been?
I wonder if my stuff just disappeared. Because yeah, Bethlehem Stable, Damsel, and Woes. I sent them to the bottom of deck. And then you played Herod's Banquet right after that, so yeah. You negated Resurrection Revealer, which shuffled Crowd's Choice back into my deck.
Okay.
Man, that's silly.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're
negate
doing
the reserve
things...
on Herodes' daughter. Oh, but it would negate the negate on Herod Agrippa the First. So
exactly.
Then I would get Crowd's Choice back.
You get Crowd's Choice back.
Okay.
Herod's back in the battle. Correct.
Yep.
Herod back to territory. Herod's daughter stays there. Everything else is fine, I think, in battle. CB, we already got outsiders fixed. We already fixed Herod Philip with CBN, Herod's Bank with CBN, Herod the Great CBN, Herod's daughter who's negated, and he got negated from territory, so he's back in here.
Yep.
Back in battle. Okay, so I guess
now I can decide to ban or look at your hand.
Wait, Daniel bans? Oh, good grief! They all banned. I thought you did.
They all banned.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, you could have picked one of the other two dudes, and they would have been prevented by Herod's guard.
Oh, you're right. No way. Oh man. I always forget it's not just enhancements; it's characters. Oh wow. That would have been amazing.
All right, so I guess I'll. Do I want to look at your hand though? I mean, I feel like you've got to have a Dom block, so I suppose I should ban. All right, so Bendigo, I will. Yeah, we'll underdeck my top card. Move top 1 to bottom of deck. To top deck. Cast into the Lion's Den. That'll be on top, and then I'll ban to Meshach.
Is that 3/3 or 8/8? I can't tell. 3/3, okay.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Alright, and then Bendigo, or ban a Meshach, prevent the next enhancement, and then I'll draw Cast into Lion's Den. Alright. So you've got big numbers. I've got big-ish numbers.
Yeah. So many start. So 3/3. It's 3, right? You're white, green, silver.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll do power first. 11, 16, 18, 30. And this is Herod's in battle. So that's 2. So 32. And 3, 10, 14, 16, 26, 30, 32, 30.
All right. I think this is probably good. Let's do cast into Lion's Den, and we'll capture Herod the Great.
Okay.
That puts me to a 12, 23.
Okay. And that takes me down 12, 11. Oh, no, 13, 13, 10. Okay. So puts me at 19, 20. So now I'm losing. Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. Interject the top card. Top deck Daniel from reserve. So you're preventing my next enhancement.
No, I think that it just prevents the next enhancement.
Oh, okay. Except enhancement. It's any enhancement. Okay. That's it.
Yep. So mine counted for that.
I'm gonna play.
You sure you didn't play Herod's Banquet on Outsiders, right?
I'm sure. I specifically dropped it on top of that guy to be. We'll go repercussion, cast the Lion's Den, and withdrawing your Meshach and Abednego. And I'll ask for dominant initiative after I withdraw those two. Play Resurrection again? That'd be crazy.
Fortunately, it only lets you abandon, or it only lets your human band or hero. That's right.
Oh wait, you're negating NT enhancements. Okay, so you are preventing that one.
You've got Humble, unfortunately.
Oh, I do have Humble. Okay, great. Thank
you. Yep. Yeah, you can have it.
Let's drop a Christian Martyr on that guy.
Yeah. I wonder if I should have played that differently, but
I know I should have played that different. Wow.
All right. That was quite the turn.
Yeah, we can chalk that up defensive to my defense and not to my play skills there.
Let's see. So I definitely, I did play my territory class enhancement already. That was this turn that I played. Lost Child Found.
Ago. 5 hours later.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess we'll put down Prince, and I will pass the turn.
Sounds good. Draw 3. Lost Soul. Lost Soul.
And I ended up putting Prince back down anyway, so my Lost Child Found was completely irrelevant.
Okay.
Actually, it kind of hurt me because you would have Outsiders Princed as well instead of either my stable or my woes.
Let's
in order
see.
to not have shield triggers.
So I want to use a star ability. I'm going to pass the star ability. Move to upkeep. My good woes will move to your. Okay. Wow, my good woes is worthless.
I know how I feel. Well, felt, I guess.
Exactly. We'll move to your artifact.
Yep.
Okay. Upkeep as well. Your shield is active now.
So how much time do you have left for us at this point?
10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to pass on stable upkeep. So that's all upkeep stuff. Let's move into prep phase. What do I got in terms of? Okay. I'm going to play Son of God and rescue Lawless.
All right.
And I'm going to deactivate Manger and activate Peter's Curse.
Mm.
I'm going to make a rescue attempt with your hand size is 8. Okay, cool. Joseph, he's going to grab from reserve. He'll grab Magnificat, and he's going to band to Mary. Mary's going to negate and reserve your Prince of this World, and she's going to grab Hospitality in Bethany.
All right.
And that is my rescue attempt.
Let's block with Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
And to Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
We'll draw one from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ban to Herod Philip II.
Mm-hmm.
We'll draw 3.
Okay.
Got a Galileans. Humble. Sure, still both negated. Oh, actually. Oh, okay, darn. Actually would have been CBP if Humble was active.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool. Anyways, we'll ban to your outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 to your 16, 17, 18.
Believe so.
And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Good brigades. So let's under deck. Under deck Peter's Curse. Bethlehem Stable. And then draw 2.
Okay. So it's okay if I just leave these here for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's my initiative, correct? Or unless you got a dominant to play.
Yeah, it's yours.
Okay. You're not preventing anything. I'll play The Child is Born. I'm not going to grab any Nativity hero from reserve. I will be banding to the following heroes. Let's see here. Banding to Gabriel. Your Resurrection Revealer. I'll leave my Resurrection Revealer there. Might as well bend into your Heavenly Host, dude. And stick your tokens in here, too.
Mine's, or it's unique, so.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, yeah, right. Yeah, he's unique, not the tokens. Okay. To Zachariah. Magnifying Multitude. Simeon, I'm just pulling the ones and I'm going to get on. I need to arrange them soon. And for good measure, we'll band it to Magi. Okay, so let me rearrange these in the order they're going to work. I'm going to have Simeon. You're not protected. Your hand's not protected, right?
Correct.
Okay. Although I wonder if this is actually a good idea. I think it should be fine. We'll do Simeon's effect first to have you underdeck an evil card from hand.
Let's do the Deceiver.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Zachariah, I'll pass on the drawing, but I will prevent your next enhancement. Magnifying Multitude will prevent anything with, what is it, 7 or greater, or 7 or greater. Magi.
So that will negate Herod Philip.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess it does. So that would kick out Outsiders too. Back to my territory. Okay.
And then those 3 cards go back. 1, 2, 3.
Magi will go to my deck for a star card. Oh, no, I don't have card at hand advantage. Well, I do have hand advantage still. Yeah, so I'll go to my deck for a star. You have hand advantage. I'm going to grab. Lost Child found. And Resurrection Revealer, go to my deck for a good dominant. That's a Gospel Dominant. I don't know if I have any good Gospel Dominants left. I do have a Gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gabriel will negate my Outsiders, so I get to keep the cards that you are burying.
Yep.
And the 2 that you drew.
Guess those 2 would go on top of the other 2. Or the
I think
other
so,
3.
yeah.
1, 2.
And he will actually, Gabriel won't do anything with his search. He'll negate. I will decline the rest of his abilities.
Okay. So my initiative then.
Yes. Let me know if you want to count. We count up the numbers.
That's
way ahead.
probably okay. Let's see.
Time.
All right. So let's see. You or I went first, right?
Yes.
So would we play one more round after this? I think.
I'm up for another round. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Oh, I guess I play.
I hate
wages.
Barely technicalities. Okay.
Go to deck for. Does that help me? I think it does. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna go get House Divided.
Okay.
And we'll send wages to the bottom.
Okay. Your niche.
I will play. Yeah, I'll play House Divided.
Okay, so it's dual colored or
multi brigade or multi brigade or dual icon. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll chamber Gabriel, reserve Simeon, reserve Zechariah, um, reserve Mary. Outsiders is discarded. Oh, yeah, Peter's Curse is one too.
Mm-hmm.
So these go to reserve. So I'm left with these.
Child is Born is negated as well.
It's negates. Okay. Oh, okay. So
And then 3 Woes is discarded.
Okay, there you go. So this is my group now. Oh no, Magi is in hand.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And Child is Born is discarded.
Child is Born is discarded. Do I need to get rid of anything else? Looks like we're all good. Okay. So let's see here. You have 18 cards left in deck. You're now bigger than I am. You're not preventing anything. No, you're not preventing anything. You have 5 cards in hand. Let's go for. That's gonna get ugly. Good grief. Okay, we'll see.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask for Dominish.
For dominant initiative? Okay. Let me see if I want to do dominant first. First. No, you can have dominant initiative.
I'll play an Evil Crowd's Choice. And go get Blasphemies from my deck.
Okay. Let's play Lost Child Found to bounce your Messenger and Beelzebub. And what else do I bounce? I'll bounce I want my Golgotha in play, but it's not in play. What do I get? Let's see. I'll bounce my own. Oh, I have to protect from harm. It's not. Oh, yes, it's not negated right now. I'll bounce my own Magnifying Multitudes back to my hand with those two. Those tier heroes.
Let's see. Okay, so that would interrupt
House Divided.
House Divided. And then
So Woes comes back, Peter's Curse comes back.
and those things are bounced. House Divided is discarded by game rule.
I get your tokens back in battle?
Yep.
And your Resurrection Revealer. And I think my Outsiders go.
All right. Guess I will ask for Dominish.
Wow. Well, Peter's Curse. Oh, so you can be evil Dom. Let's see here. You have Dominish.
I'll play an Evil Woes to. Yeah, I guess I got to negate Lost Child Found.
That's hilarious. Okay, man, let's get.
Oops, evil. Well, the unfortunate part is that it doesn't bring back House Divided.
Oh yeah,
because it was discarded by game rule.
It does reactivate because it wasn't okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that's.
At least you have your characters back in.
That's the unfortunate part of you having a non-special initiative granting battle winner.
Exactly. I was like, oh, this can just win without giving. Okay. So I guess we have to do numbers now. So 2, 9, 20, 22, 30, and 4, 13, 32, 38, 30, 30.
And I'm 21, 21.
Okay.
Okay. So my initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just play blindness.
All other enhancements. So kicking out
The child is born. And stuff, yeah.
Cool. Interesting. You're 21, 27. And I'm at 18, 20, 20, 13.
Got 7 strength on your enhancements.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just wonder what like, I know you have blasphemies. That's.
Yeah, I suppose you need at least 9 based on what you know.
Exactly. Blasphemies cannot be prevented by an angel, but that's not an angel. That's that. Oh, you know what? This is even better. Okay. We'll activate. Heritage Symbol's not negated, right?
Don't believe so.
Okay. So I'll reserve the top card of my deck to start tossing.
Okay.
I'll toss your Messenger of Satan to the grave.
Yep. It's me at 19, 24.
I will toss Coming Prince at your Beelzebub.
Nice.
And it's your initiative.
So it puts me at
13, 18?
Yeah, 13, 18.
And I'm at 20, 13. So it's mutual destruction now.
Well, I guess we'll toss blasphemies for 4.
Okay. Okay.
So it makes you at 16, 9.
Yeah, 16, 9. I'll toss Magnificat at Beelzebub further 4. It's a tiny Beelzebub.
1/1 Bubby.
Your initiative.
4. Okay, so that makes me 9, 14. And if I toss this War in Heaven for 5, is that good enough?
Looks like you got it. How many times have I used Bethlehem Stable? It's just 3 times, right? I reserved Simeon, Zechariah, and Mary. So it's 3 times.
Let's see. I guess it's not harm, but I guess it is defeat still. Is it defeated by me? I don't know that it is.
Oh, it could be
because it's your Herod's Temple.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll say it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think because it would be your Herod's Temple doing the defeating.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh yes, did you have any add to battle or anything?
No.
All right.
I was like, what are my options here? Okay, so
That was
yeah,
also quite the battle.
that was something. That was something.
Oh gosh.
It is. Here we go.
Problem is, I kind of doubt I have a way to deal with Peter's curse. Alright, so no stars. We'll go to upkeep. Gonna woes. That's evil. So I guess we negate your Herod's Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And the Resurrection Revealer is still on. Your woes is on my throne anyway. My Resurrection Revealer is still on.
Mm-hmm.
Peter's Curse is CBN. Guess I will go ahead and bring out Foretelling Angel.
Bring out your dead.
Reveal my top, which is wages. We'll pop Heavenly Host back and forth a few times out of chamber to make some tokens.
Interesting.
And then I'll go ahead and move all the tokens to chamber as well.
Okay.
Let's deactivate Great White Throne. I feel like a lot of things went wrong this game.
Same here.
Well, you're in a little bit better shape than I am, though. Let's see. Oh, Peter's Curse. Man.
I like the CVN cross. Like it's not full of cross, but like it definitely got some upsides on cross.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely playable.
It's one of the reasons I like it for this deck. Is I burn through my good dominants so fast because I get them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I think. I think there was a turn where I could have, oh yeah. Yeah, with that the last turn when I played cast into the Lion's Den. I should have just played Coming Prince to get my star back.
Yeah.
And then did all the drawing. But I kind of forgot about the fact that, I didn't think about the fact that you would have a battle winner that would remove exactly 2 of my characters and not give me special initiative before you played a dominant. Alright, so I guess I will go to battle with Abednego. Will not underdeck. But I will ban 2 Meshach, and I will draw 1. Yeah, it was silly. I suppose I should have just done that just in case. Yeah. You're just going with Gabriel and ban into your Resurrection Revealer to get my Son of God out, just in case you decided to deactivate Peter's Curse.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Exactly. We'll go for going to block with Herod's Guard.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I should have drawn wages. That's my
Oh,
top
okay.
card.
Okay. Cool. Not Daniel. Good. So I'm gonna prevent the next good card played in battle. I'm gonna exchange him with a Herod from deck. Antipasta. And he's going to take an Evil New Testament card from reserve, grabbing Contagious Fear. Initiative?
Yep, I suppose so.
Okay. And you're preventing my cards. My CBP is my Humble's not on. I'm gonna play Revolt for just 4-0. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. Do 4 and horses to interrupt the battle. This me draw 2. And then I get to play the next enhancement because you played you drew this turn.
Yep.
And Contagious Fear while I interrupted your protect on the souls.
Right.
So
you've got
I'm gonna reserve
it to pass anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wow, he makes that. That's interesting. The 4 horses doesn't attach to him yet, so it just get discarded. It doesn't go with reserve too, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought I was being like super like, man, got the interrupt to get the. No, it worked. You didn't need to do anything fancy. Okay.
Let's do. I suppose that. Right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I will play Daniel's Prayer. And we'll go take Michael from deck.
Change your top card, okay.
And top card is Son of God.
Nice. Was it Daniel Son of God? No. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not quite legal yet.
Sorry.
It's alright, I won't be able to play it anyway.
That would be really cool. Like, oh, it's Daniel Son of God.
I'll put down the Michael, and I will pass the turn.
Okay. Draw 3. Hopper does not hop. No star abilities. Upkeep. Woes. So it was on your artifact. You put all your artifacts face down. So woes will go to. I guess you should woe somebody on my side then. I will woes Proteus's daughter.
All right.
Let's see here. Upkeep again. Stable will grab Mary. Moving into prep phase, I'll move Gabriel back into territory.
I guess I got a shield trigger off of your.
I was wondering you were going to do that.
Yeah. Might as well. Underdeck run.
I'll go for a rescue attempt with Gabriel. He's going to my reserve, my discard for Child is Born.
We'll underdeck Galileans. Alright, well, guess I will block with Beelzebub.
You're 1/1 Beelzebub. He's all a tiny imp. He's Q now. He's Q.
Yep. I will get Deafening Spirit from my reserve.
Oh, that's cool.
My initiative.
Yeah, your initiative.
I will play wages, and I will take. I really wish I could play gates, but
Add it to battle. Just adding these gates of hell to the battle. It's fine. Don't worry.
yeah, that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll just take Dragon's Wrath.
Okay.
And I will discard Gabriel.
Yes. Okay. SI. Let's go for.
Can't have that many good enhancements left, can you?
Exactly. The child is born. I'm going to be banding to my Resurrection Revealer, your Resurrection Revealer. Um, the Woes is evil, isn't it? Okay. So I'll be banding to my Magi and my Mary. I don't know why I'm worrying about the Woes. I believe that covers all of the banding I want to do there. So let's do the effects. Resurrection Revealers declining. Magi will be banding. So I'll move into the back. And Mary will. It's evil card in territory, yeah. So we'll get rid of your woes. It's actually not a good idea, but whatever. I'll put your woes in your reserve, so you can. I guess you don't have crash choice anymore, so I don't know. And then magic and to magnifying multitude, and I'll draw 2.
Okay.
And those are souls. And you're still negating my neutrals because I didn't remove that effect, right?
You took my Resurrection Revealer, so
So I am. Those are actually active.
I believe so.
Okay. So I'm just drawing. Oh, there's another soul. And that's the end of my deck. um, so I'll give you a Beak Lost Soul, and I can't exchange that. And you are up.
So then Gabriel is discarded.
Yes, sorry. Oh, instead him. Well, yeah. It's such doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll play Deafening Spirit and negate the child is born.
Is it discard? I discard.
Yep. And then I will convert to a character.
Okay. So I'm winning, so it's your initiative?
Yep. Then I will play Dragon's Wrath.
Ignore angels. Okay.
Discard my dudes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Discards all human heroes.
Unless you want to reveal what of the Lammer word of their testimony.
I was thinking about it. Okay, that's good. And I don't think I got anything else. Yep. You ignore me.
All right.
So go to discard phase.
Yep.
Before the game ends.
That's it. I held you off at least to 2. Which one was Angel of the Lord and one was Son of God, so I don't feel too bad about that, you know.
No, definitely. Like I think eventually, because Gabriel keeps recurring, I think I can keep on getting through eventually, but it would take some time.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to
You still have,
Let's see, it
you have cards to draw still.
would
So
have been
there
one
you go.
round on Peter's curse.
Exactly.
Um,
Good game.
yeah, it was good. Man, that, like Peter's curse was at just the right time, pretty much. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I had, because when I did all that drawing on that one block, like I did have Son of God and Second Coming
Mm-hmm.
that I could have played, um, like after I drew them,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, then I think both of those draws ended up being negated, and so they both went back. And uh, between the Outsiders and then the House Divided, I was hoping that one of
That
them
was
would
so
get
crazy.
through.
That was really
But
crazy.
I think maybe I shouldn't have banded to your Herod Philip,
Mm-hmm.
um, just because then if
The weakness.
Outsiders didn't
Exactly.
work, then well, I don't know. I suppose maybe what I should have done is just blocked with Messenger, banded to your Outsiders, underdeck Peter's Curse, and then just let them both die
Yeah.
after getting drawing. Because I guess you still
Oh
had
yeah, I still
Second
have second
Coming,
coming
right?
too.
Yeah, so you could have gotten to 4 then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would have still had to make 2 rescues, which, let's see, was that on those? Yeah, that was on your second to last turn, so I still only had one more turn after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I went up to 57 because
But I
I
suppose
actually
it wouldn't have taken that much time.
fast. Yeah.
Might have been able to get another round in. But yeah, yeah, because you were only at like 50. You were at 51 or 52 when you played Jeremy,
57.
right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was at 50 when I played Germany. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, I know like there's that extra speed from 50, but this deck is pretty fast. And when you get star running, like if you use it twice, you're like, I need more cards in my deck to fuel this thing. And
Yeah.
having extra dominant is really nice too because you get to all your dominance really quickly. Besides second coming, the deck doesn't find second coming very well, but
Yeah. I mean, Enunciation can still search for it, right?
exactly. But I'm rarely searching for second coming with enunciation.
Yeah,
That's what I mean with that.
that's fair. Um, yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking, it's like I know people have been kind of experimenting with the different Daniel, uh, speed stuff, where doing
Mm-hmm.
like the Song of Moses thing to get the whole band out, and then
Yeah,
um, playing the Meek Lost Souls to be a little bit faster with Foretelling Angel. But I figured that I could try out doing the Chamber Heavenly Host and Star of Bethlehem thing,
yeah,
because it doesn't mess up Michael's thing, and then also
yeah.
Chamber is just nice for saving my Daniel Angels, but can never get to Michael. And
Those
I had
shipwreck against the faster decks, but shipwreck's really good in this matchup.
yeah, I really didn't want to have to use it on your Sheol, but
Exactly. I was like,
I was like,
how much shield? At least it's on my chamber.
yeah,
Yeah.
I probably could have just managed some of the searching there,
The
but
thing is, if you do it on their chamber, like it's more like taking away their second coming if they need it. Like they can actually second coming back their chamber
right,
resurrection. So
yeah, that was one of the kind of last changes I did to this deck was adding Resurrection, Bethlehem Stable, and Resurrection Revealer,
mhm.
and giving it a little bit more consistency to get to Chamber early, and
Yeah,
then also having a negate neutrals I figured would be nice. Um,
I
yeah,
love treasure to crouch choice early to get a fast resurrection if I need it.
you like what to crowd's choice?
Treachery, to crowd's choice, like with
Oh,
Galileans.
yeah, Herod's Treachery. Okay, yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
that makes sense.
I really like mono gold defense. I think they're pretty powerful. I
Yeah.
never got to use against you. Like I was like, "Where's my no straw?" But thing
It
was
is, yeah,
insane.
it is fairly well situated against Daniel. I mean, right, I did have the cross for the entire game, and it just never made
Yeah.
sense for me to activate it.
Well, with
Um,
Resurrection Revealer, it
right,
doesn't do.
yeah. And I was like, oh, I can play Three Woes as evil to negate Resurrection Revealer, but then it's like, oh, he's
Mhm.
playing Nativity, and so Woes as evil is kind of a, it's not going to last long against
Exactly.
Mary.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, but yeah, Mary's pretty solid. That's for sure.
The ability to grab the Evil Star card is amazing too. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's. I have foreign wives in reserve. I don't know. Like, I may have missed a turn to block with them. I know there's a few turns where he did. I think I don't think I had my deceiver for those.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Foreign Wives would have come in handy for me. I could have gotten her in the discard pile somehow so that I can shield in one of your evil characters.
Yes, no, that's why I looked at your discard. I was like,
Yeah, I figured. And I was like, oh, is
what's
there
he
a way
got?
I can get wages in the discard pile to. And that's one of the things I was thinking. Like, if I. When I played wages to get House Divided,
Hmm.
I was like, well, if I leave it in battle, or if I just use it to add House Divided to battle,
Oh yeah, and then House of Fighting destroys it, but
I'm
then
not really I'm not really sure how that works. I mean, I guess it wouldn't negate
it should be fine. Yeah,
its own
it should be
effect,
fine. Yeah.
but yeah,
So it should.
I,
Yeah, it
I
should be.
maybe should have done that. But then I was also like, well, it's House Divided takes out your outsiders anyway, so
Oh yeah, so you wouldn't be able to ban to anything.
yeah.
Or,
Um, yeah, that I think that was my only option for adding one of your dudes.
I wanted Herodias, but it wouldn't have mattered because you had Chamber. Like Herodias can really like lots of
Oh
people.
yeah, yeah, that would have been good. I mean, I wasn't really
But
getting much from my reserve at that point anyway.
the turn I messed up my finding an angel card, whatever it's called. Uh,
Angel
I could,
appears.
yeah, I could have gotten him, but I still wouldn't have banned it to him, so it really wouldn't have made a difference. But
Oh sure.
because like stampeded that turn, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't know. Oh, there's no way I would have banded him into battle instead of Gabriel because I
yeah.
needed the search.
Hmm. So let's see. If it weren't for Peter's curse, you would have still been able to play Second Coming to get to 3. I feel like I might have been able to. Uh, it would have. You still might have gotten the block. I think maybe I shouldn't have banded though. I probably should have just gone in with Meshach.
Mm-hmm. Man, I can't believe I messed that up. I forgot I was preventing a next good card, not next enhancement. That's horrible.
Oh yeah.
That was so bad. I was like, they all banned. What's the point?
Right.
Oh, one's CB and the other ones are not. Oh.
Oh man, that was we got a few pretty good battles in this one. I guess
Mm-hmm.
that kind of is the nature of the mass banding cards.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Like but they also add a lot of or take a lot of time for the game, I think.
Just
Like
need,
they
just
win a
need a
lot of
wall
battles,
protection.
but
Yeah.
it's yeah, see it Herod's Banquet, I guess he tossed hospitality, but the child is born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. Well, I
Yep, that was good.
guess my Daniel deck needs a little bit of refining here to account for Herod's somehow. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit better. But yeah, it was a good game.
That was a good game. Thanks for playing.